Hi, my name is Katherine Holman, and I'm so pleased to share with you the first of 2 drawing tutorials for all things Tudor Queens and Consorts. So grab your pencils, an eraser, a pen, and a piece of paper, and let's get started. So the first thing you're going to draw is the Tudor Rose. And I like to use a roll of tape, but if you have any other tool that will help you draw a circle, by all means use it. So I'm using a roll of packing tape to guide me as I draw the main circle shape. The next thing I do is draw a 5-point star, and this will be the beginning of the guide marks I use to draw the petals for the Tudor Rose. So find your center point of the star, and now using the points of the star, draw lines going through the center point that will now create sort of a burst look. And if it's confusing for me to explain, which I know it can be, just look at my drawing here and you'll see how I've marked all these new points, not just the 5 points of the star, but every point in between. Now you're going to draw a sort of medium circle around the middle of the star, and within that you'll draw a smaller circle. And now you might start to see our Tudor Rose taking shape. So using the new guide points we've made, we're going to start drawing the petals. The center of the Tudor Rose has 5 petals. The exterior of the Tudor Rose also has 5 petals, but they are not overlapping the same way. They intersect with each other. So you can see how that center rose is in the middle, and now each petal of the rose outside of it intersects with the center of the smaller petals. So now I'm going to use my black pen to go around the exterior of this drawing. Don't worry about the pencil marks yet. We will go ahead and erase the extra guide marks in a moment. But for now, I'm going over that center area of the Tudor Rose, the small petals of the first rose, and the larger petals of the exterior rose. And you'll see in a moment that I will also add small leaves, and you can just follow along with my drawing to see where those go. Our second drawing today will be a medieval style leather-bound book, complete with jewels on the front cover and 2 metal clasps to seal it shut. The shape I'm starting with now, lightly with my pencil, is somewhat of a parallelogram or an elongated rhombus. It has 4 sides, and it is to make it appear that the book is laying flat with a little bit of perspective. So it's laying flat on a table in front of us or something. And that way we get the cover and 2 of the sides, so you can see all the decorative elements. So you just add these vertical lines to add dimension and depth to the book, and now it looks like a simple sort of brick. Now, because we're not using a ruler and sort of eyeballing the perspective, I'm going to use a simple X from the four corners to the center so I can determine the center point of the book. And of course, this is a loose drawing, it's not very precise, but it's a fun way to easily get to that middle area because I want to add a jewel in the middle. So that's what that circle will become. And these outside edges we can imagine are sort of like gold edging or something decorative metal to frame the outside of the book's front cover. Now I'm just adding a little bit of depth to the book cover itself. So the spine there has a little bit of thickness to it, as well as the underneath cover, the back cover that's laying flat on the table surface. So these metal clasps are just simple. I'm not including a lock or anything, although you could. But basically, these metal clasps were used to keep the vellum paper flat. It could easily ripple in different levels of humidity. And so this was just a way to protect the book and keep it flat and all the pages flat inside. Our third and final drawing for today's tutorial is a Tudor style flower, and this is based on one of the flowers that you can find in Anne Boleyn's Book of Hours. A lot of flower drawings from illuminated manuscripts dating to the 15th, 16th, and even 17th centuries are not specific scientific botanical drawings, so I don't have any hard and fast rules for this. You can copy mine exactly, or you can find another drawing from an illuminated manuscript that you like. This particular flower can be seen in a couple of the pages from Anne Boleyn's Book of Hours. And this is a style that I drew not only for my coloring book with Natalie, but also for the background for her website on the Tudor Trail. So I have a few favorites that I like to draw, but feel free to find another flower and just don't be afraid to have fun and make a little whimsical floral drawing. Now that our ink is on the paper, we can test to make sure it won't smudge and start to erase our pencil lines. Thank you so much for joining me today for this first drawing tutorial. I will be back next month with another edition. And you can find me on Instagram at Catherine Holman, or you can find me at my Etsy store, catherineholman.etsy.com. And I sell a lot of Tudor gifts, including my book with Natalie, Coloring History, Tudor Queens and Consorts.